Hey everybody, and welcome to Face to Face Game Podcast, episode 37. I am Thompson. Joined with me this week is Nick
Hello.
and Vance.
Hey!
Yeah, and maybe Or will show up later. I don't know. He's MIA. I don't know where the hell he is. So whatever. If he shows up, cool. If not, yeah, whatever. Anyway, we're gonna talk about video games
Pitch
because
games.
that's what we do.
Never heard of him.
Fucking bullshit. You
You've played
lie.
the most varied selection of games out of all of us this week, Nick.
That is true.
Well, why don't you start?
Well, okay.
if you don't want to start, I can start. But
Okay,
if you're not mentally prepared,
I wasn't prepared to take it right away.
Oh my.
okay. Well, how about this? I've been playing Neo Scavenger again because
What
it
is
came
that?
out. Neo Scavenger is a survival narrative game, I guess you could call it, based outside of Detroit, sometime in the unspecified future, and pretty much everything's gone to shit. Detroit somehow is one of the last bastions on Earth that still exists.
What?
Yeah, that doesn't make sense. But hey,
I thought Detroit was already there.
pretty much. I don't know, but that's the thing. Anyway, so yeah, so you wake up in a crowd tube and you're like, what the fuck's going on? You don't even know your name. You kind of find out that you are Philip Kindred, and you're like, okay, so that leads somewhere, and you apparently have family in Detroit, but you don't really know anything because, once again, you just came out of cryo sleep, so you're kind of like, meh. And you are pretty much, it's yourself, your skills, and your wits outside of, the area of Detroit where bandits, other survivors, and other crazy beasts try to survive out in the wild. You can also get into Detroit, but that's a longer story, and it's also narrative driven. It is all words. Like it
Okay.
it is an open world exploration game, and you can go anywhere and do anything. You don't have to go on any specific quests. You can totally avoid the main quest line if you so choose, and still have a really decent experience. But
Okay.
there is a lot of like really cool words for the entire thing.
There's a lot of really cool words. Alex
Yeah.
Thompson, 2015.
So
Yeah.
what's the gameplay like?
Is it like
It's
a Get Ye Flask style gameplay?
pretty close, grid based. Inventory and stuff like that. There's different options that you can check, and pull over different skills or different items depending on your situation. So, say you go scavenge a house, for example, you come across a house. Now, if you're strong, that'll help you search for stuff. But if you have a crowbar, that really helps. Get past some locked stuff. Maybe you'll find some more loot. But it won't necessarily be as safe because you could cause like the house come crumbling down, and it'll cause more noise. So people that are in the nearby vicinity can hear you breaking into shit. So there's stuff like that. Or if you have a lighter, it's the little details, little items that you have and the skills that your character has that you choose at the start of the game will determine what you can find and what you can do. And that applies to the main story as well. So it's not really a spoiler. One of the first things you can do in the game is talk to this one person, and you need to go retrieve an item for this person. You can go do that, or if you're, say, an electrician, then you can go fix up some stuff of his just by doing that, and that's taking care of it, no problem. Or one of the options that I chose a long time ago, but I haven't been able to reproduce in the latest build since it's been released, because it was early access for a while, is just be a badass motherfucker and kill this giant wolf dog thing with your bare hands, and then take the security footage of that and show that to the person, and he's like, holy shit, you are awesome. You know what? Here's this cool stuff. You can have it.
Please don't hurt me and my
Pretty much.
insides.
Pretty much. So it's a very cool, very well-written game as far as that's concerned, but the main feature, because you have to worry about, your temperature, you have to worry about food, you have to worry about water, you can get sick if you get drink the water or bad food. eating humans might not necessarily be a good idea, but if you have to
This
do it, you have to do it.
kind of like DayZ. That sounds like DayZ.
It's like
With
DayZ,
like
but
a sense.
yeah, but way better. And
Yeah.
I'm getting to that.
Okay.
So the fighting system in
Goodness
this
Nick.
game is like how to put it into words? Fucking gruesome. Because the game is entirely word based. Like there are no animations, there are no like there are drawings and graphics and stuff, but there's no
Right.
Yeah.
like there's no immediate like control stuff. You are like it's all turn based. It's pseudo roguelike. There are changing environments, changing situations. It's kind of random,
Okay.
but the fighting, because it's entirely word based, is almost to a Dwarf Fortress level of minuteness. So, if you were to attack someone, say with your trusty crowbar, and
Yes.
you hit them in the arm, well,
As you
okay,
do.
so as you do, there's a whole grid of different options. You can get closer to your enemy, get further. You can ask them to surrender. You can talk to them. You can raise your weapon and threaten them. Or there's attack and like a flurry of attacks, and then there's like dodging and whatever. But anyway, if you attack, something happens. And say if you connect, it'll be like player has grazed, or actually, player has bruised stranger's upper right arm, and then has crippled it or something. Like it's all like text based, so it's like
Yeah.
there's a lot of detail here, and then there's a lot of status conditions on either side for you and your enemy that
Okay.
will show all of the details of everything that's going on. And it doesn't sound like much, but when you were standing over somebody who has fallen down to the ground because you've essentially broken their leg, it says that they are concussed, they have trouble focusing because of their severe pain, they are coughing up blood, and it's like, holy fuck, like I am straight up murdering this guy.
Yeah.
Like it is graphic. It's not graphic, but it's very, very graphic. And it leads to very, very interesting scenarios. Like, I was playing it not last weekend, obviously, but the weekend before, and I was, I was getting into this fight with this one guy, and crowbar is my favorite weapon because if you're strong and you have a crowbar, you can pretty much dominate anyone.
Crowbar up. Riot, please nerf.
Yeah, please nerf Rito. But anyway, I had this guy knocked down to the ground, and I think he was some sort of cultist, and he was on the ground, and I'm like kicking the shit out of this guy, and I'm starting to feel like severe empathy. I'm just like, this guy, like, seriously, this fight has got to end. Like, this is really, 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 really bad. Like,
Yeah.
I'm feeling pity for him. And it's clear that I have won this fight. I've shown dominance. Like, you know what? I'm going to offer this person to surrender. I demand you to surrender. And then from the ground, coughing up blood, like severe concussion, totally fucked up, he goes, "No, you surrender." So I pressed the button that says flurry of attacks and just like crushed his face.
That's
Like,
awesome.
I was like, you know what, everything was going to be fine. I was going to take what I needed. I was going to leave some medical supplies, and that be it. No, you're going to die now.
Trying to Obi-Wan Kenobi bluff your ass. If you strike me down, ow! Stop hitting me with the crow. No, stop. Yeah.
Exactly. So, yeah, it's a really good game. I really, really recommend it. It's I think it's $20 on Steam or something like that. But regardless, it's worth at least looking into. There is a demo, and it's a really old demo, but it gives you the gist of how the game plays out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's really fucking cool. Actually, we did a live stream on it the other day, and
Actually, I noticed you linked that on your Twitter. I was actually looking. It was like the first thing on your Twitter.
yeah, it was on the official ADP Twitter, and I forgot to update it because it's
Reasons.
holidays.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, so that's out there in the wild, and if you want to like see what the game is all about, you should check that out. I kind of fumble a little bit here and there on my descriptions, but I give a fairly good synopsis of the whole thing.
Cool. When did that come out?
Uh,
Recently?
just a, yeah, just a few weeks ago, actually. That's why I covered it because I was like, this game just came out and I really like it. And I mean, I wrote a first look on it so many moons ago, and like I really liked it then. And there's so much more to it now, so definitely worth checking out.
Cool. I'll have to do that.
And so, sorry, just say the name of that one more time.
Neo Scavenger.
New Scavenger.
Like Neo, like from the Matrix, and Scavenger, like scavenger.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, it's very cool. It's like grid based, or like hex based, grid moving turn based thing. I like it. I like it a lot. It's really, really, really good. So Nick, you figured out your things yet?
Yeah. Yeah. Is that all for you then?
Oh, I'm sure I've got more.
Well, keep going then.
Fuck, I just want a drink of water. I just want some water.
No hydration.
Too bad, I had it. Anyway, so I downloaded a few games for my phone actually because like I've got other PC games that I'm working on. I
Right.
just got to Endless Legend, so I'm looking into that.
Yes.
Yeah, it's fucking cool.
I
Fucking cool.
wanted to get that during the Steam sale, but I wasn't sure whether or not I should have dropped the monies.
Really? I could have told you to do it. For sure. It's Well, it's not something that I put a lot of time into, but everything that I've seen, both, and I saw it like at PAX East when it was still under early access,
Okay.
and everything that I saw about that game just made me fall in love with it. Then I didn't even play it. I just saw the developers play the game, and I was just like, "Holy fuck, this is really cool! I need this." And it's sort of Civ 5 esque as far as like basic gameplay standards go. There's resources, you got cities, etc., and it's a
Okay.
hex grid. But its combat system is completely different, like completely different. Super, super, super cool. It's stack based, and it when you like in the old Civ games, you'd have two units, and then they'd hit each other, and then numbers would happen. You know,
Right.
nothing really special. On this one, your stacks will hit each other, and then they explode out onto the map. And now your map that used to be, the world with resources and cities and what have you, is now a tactics, like a tactics map. You've got elevation, you've got forests that give you a little bit extra cover, you got deserts and different movement points for different places, and it's all initiative based. So you set all your commands for every single one of your units, and then they go out and attack all at the same time. So initiative on both sides counts, and it just starts, initiating. And then after everybody's gone through their attacks, then you have the option to change your strategy, switch it up, and then go again. And it's extremely cool. I really like it.
Yeah, I'm just looking at some gameplay here. It looks very interesting. I don't know that many other 4Xs are doing this specific style of combat. I know that's one problem I do have with Civ 5. It's a really cool game, and like I love being able to choose exactly how I want to conquer the world. But a lot of times the combat victory can feel a little bit tedious when it's just smacking units together over and over again.
Oh, totally. And like it's definitely fleshed out. You can customize your. I think you can customize your army, but I know for a fact that you can customize your heroes. So there are hero units. They have different buffs if they're in a city. They have different buffs if they're with an army, and they are actually in that melee. So they have stats and stuff, and they level up. They get different skills. It's a really complex game. Very cool. And I need to
Cool.
put more than the half hour that I put into it. So if anyone's around, like Nick, if you eventually pick it up, I know Alex wants to play it. multiplayer. I know my cousin
Oh, it's
wants to play
multiplayer?
multiplayer. Yeah, yeah, it is. It's unfortunately it doesn't have hot seat, which made me really sad. But apparently the way the multiplayer works, it doesn't. That just isn't a thing. Everybody apparently does their turns all at the same time.
Oh,
So
okay. Kind of
Cool.
like asynchronous mode in Civ 5.
I guess I don't know. I don't know. I'd have to try it out. So I mean, like I said, if you guys pick it up and you're interested in playing it, I would definitely like to try it because it would be interesting. But
Cool.
also I have to learn it first because, like I said, it's fucking complicated. There's a lot to learn. But
I
Yeah.
A while ago I picked up a different Age of Wonders 3, and I've been meaning to dig into that, so I might have to dig into that before I can pick up another 4X. Those are kind of big games to process.
yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, that's
No
kind of why
kidding.
I was hesitant, is because I knew a game like that would be probably a lot of time learning the game than playing the game, I guess. I don't know.
But I mean, like that's a given with any 4X game.
Yeah,
Hell,
exactly.
and like any strategy, honestly. Like if you look at a 4X, like each game has their own specific mechanics that you have to learn. It's just a thing.
Yep.
But I mean, like if you look at something like say Crusader Kings or Europa Universalis or something along those lines, then there's just so much, like so much. It'll take you weeks. Like not in game, but just figuring out the systems, trying it out, failing, trying it again, getting a little bit further. Like there are big systems at play, and that you just have to go through them in order to play the game and hopefully in the future enjoy the game. But
Yeah.
you gotta take your lumps if you want
Take your
to.
lumps.
If you want to enjoy a strategy game to its full extent, you have to go through that learning process. It sucks, but it's the way it is. So Nick, you should get it.
I'm not sure that fits my gaming lifestyle right now, which is more pick up and play than sit down and learn for
He only
how
has time
many
for Dota
hours.
2. The only big game he has time for in his life.
Is
Dota
this how
2.
we're segueing? Are we segueing into my stuff?
Yes,
Go
do
ahead.
it.
Okay.
Nicola.
Well, in the last month, I've done two surprising things. One
Okay.
we'll cover that, I guess, since we're talking Dota 2, is I picked up another MOBA called Heroes of the Storm, made by Blizzard.
Sweet.
Anyone that knows me knows that I only live, eat, and breathe Dota 2. So the fact that I'm playing this game as much as I already have is probably surprising the most.
Now, sorry, Nick, just to interrupt you. It's odd. You said that was made by Blizzard. I thought, in your opinion, Blizzard hasn't made anything worthwhile in a
I
good
was
long
coming to that, actually. They have not made anything good, in my opinion, since Warcraft 3.
while.
He doesn't like when I say that.
Well, you're not entirely wrong.
Thank you. But yeah, I don't know. It's really easy to pick up if you've played League of Legends, you've played Dota 2. You don't have to learn all the items again, because there is no items. Basically, you start off with skills, and basically, when you level up, you can like change variants of your skills. So say like you can change your auto attack to have lifesteal instead of or at the same time. Well, you get a multitude of choices. So one could like slow your auto attack, or one could lifesteal your auto attack. I know there's a whole bunch of different ways you can build your character just by doing that, and it saves you a lot of time of learning the items, which people like Mike don't want to join Dota 2 because they don't want to learn all that again.
No, I just don't want to learn Dota 2 because then I'd have to play with you, and
Yeah,
that's kind of.
but that's every game.
I really do like how they do. I've also been playing a little bit of Heroes of the Storm. I really like how they do the talent system instead of item system. My one big problem with it is that you have to play a character for a fair while before you actually get access to all of the different talents that character can use. And I've heard some people say that high level, like if you want to pick up a new character, you're basically screwed for the first few games you play because the talents that you have to begin with aren't actually the most effective. Aren't like you can't really make a good build out of those specific items. So I do know that is one thing that people do have a problem with Heroes of the Storm.
I think that's something like you should get all the talents if you buy the character. I think that would be a good way to go about it. Because then the free, like if you are playing for free, that's kind of a incentive, I guess. I don't know. I've been playing the same character for the last like couple days now, and it only took me, I want to say like 5 or 6 games to get all my talents, which I guess is a lot at high level play, but I didn't really have a whole lot of trouble in the games that I played to get all of my talents.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
No, that's fair. Yeah, it's frustrating after you have to do it for like the 7th or 8th time. It's like, you know
Yeah.
what? I'm a big boy. I know the system now. You could probably just give me all of the talents. Another thing that I really noticed that a lot of my friends who I was playing with who played League were really struggling with is that laning is almost completely unimportant in Heroes of the Storm. The map objectives in each map
Yes.
are easily 3 or 4 times as important as laning because we'd have matches where people would be sticking to their lanes instead of fighting over, one of the tributes or something like that, and we'd lose every time because their whole team would come and swarm these tributes, and then we'd just get walked over.
Yep. It's something you kind of need to learn, I guess. A lot of our friends weren't really watching the map and stuff, like looking for those things, and that made it a little bit frustrating for them. Yeah,
So liking it?
I am so far really enjoying it. I have played probably nothing but that the last like 3 days, and I've only been in it since. Yeah, I think I've played it every day since I've got it, so I would definitely recommend it to those who are looking to an alternative or just want something else to do. I don't know.
So with that in mind, is it out of its open beta then?
I think it's still in
Mm,
closed
I
beta.
believe it's still in closed beta. Yeah. So I think they're going to open beta soon, but I wouldn't. I don't know.
I know they did just do a big push of more beta testers because like all of my friends who were on the beta list all got invites. So
Except for Mike.
except Barclay.
Yeah.
That's
Well, that's
fucking
okay.
nice. Because I didn't get one.
Yeah, well,
Not that
Thompson, I said all of my friends.
Oh, that's cold. That's cold.
I love you, Thompson.
But that's fine. I'm not really a MOBA guy anyway, so it's not really a big deal. But
Neither am I. I got super pissed off because I'm so bad. I'm so bad.
yeah, me too. But that's okay. So, that's the thing though. Like I am bad. I'm really bad at MOBAs. It's just not my thing. It's not my jam. But I hear this one is better for people like myself to get into because it's less about the grind. It's more about just getting out there and attacking people and
Yeah.
having a good
Yeah.
time.
Like I said, you don't need to learn like 1,000 items to build your character. You only need to know what talents you want to use, basically, and that is a huge way to kind of lower the curve of learning.
Those
The
are
curve
words.
of learning.
Yeah.
Those are definitely words, and they are also accurate words from what I understand.
Yeah. Like I played like probably a game or two, and I was playing with the best of them, I guess. But I've been playing Dota since like 2004, so it felt pretty. It was a natural kind of change. I don't know.
Yeah, I'd say if you've played MOBAs before, you won't be lost.
No.
And it is a good way of kind of getting into them because it's not nearly as harsh. Like we'd have games where we were getting stomped and we'd only be a level or two behind. So
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's not too bad then.
yeah.
And you said you had two things. Well, that was the first one. What was the other one?
Yes. The other thing is I bought a console, and that is not something I thought I was gonna do anymore after I got a PS3 last, I guess. I told myself at the start of this generation that there was no way I was gonna do that, and then I did it. I bought a Wii U, and mostly just for Super Smash Bros. Because me and my cousin are really into that, and I have been lighting up the online in that as well.
Nice.
There's a theme here. It's that I like to make other people's lives miserable, I think.
Yeah, we know that.
I think the theme here is just Nick doesn't talk about the things that he's bad at. Oh no, I played all
blur.
these games.
Nothing.
Super awesome at them.
Oh, no big deal. Oh.
NBD.
It's a thing to do. Mm.
So yeah, I've been playing that on there, and I've been playing the Wind Waker HD, which I only sort of played on GameCube, and this one is not a whole lot different, but it's still Zelda, so it's good.
It's so pretty.
It's pretty.
Oh. Plus, that game has an amazing soundtrack.
Yeah.
That game is probably up there with Ocarina of Time as one of the best soundtracks in the entire
Yeah, it's a
entire
pretty
Zeldaverse.
game all around.
Better than Link to the Past.
I haven't listened to too much Link to the Past, so I'm not going to say anything for fear that I will get mobbed by angry people.
So I will fucking cut you. That game is probably, well, it's definitely in my top 5, probably in my top 3, maybe my top 1. So I fucking love that game. That was like my bread and butter getting raised. So
I feel you.
that
So Nick,
said,
you've been playing Zelda. You've been playing your Smash Bros.
Then from the Steam sale, I bought a slew of games that were pretty cheap, except for DayZ, which never got less than like $30 and never does for some reason.
well, there are certain companies that just decide, if we are running early access, that we are not actually going to drop the price, which makes sense because the game is not released yet. There isn't really good incentive to drop the price at that particular time, especially considering that their little pop-up menu for anything their Steam stuff, blah blah blah, anything that shows up on Steam is still like, this is an early alpha in all caps, like shit's broken. Like they still say that, and it's been out for how long? A year? It's been a while.
I don't even know. I that is one of the very few like big name projects that I don't really follow at all.
Yeah, it's come a long way since like the mod. They've added a lot of good stuff to it. My first experience wasn't the greatest because, I guess first my brother was the one that convinced me to buy it because him and his friends play it, and I was just like, well, I've been wanting to play this forever. So I'm like, yeah, I'll drop the money. So the first thing that they did was that they met me in a city, and they were fully armed, and I had like nothing. What did they do? They fed me human flesh because now you can actually skin people after you kill them, and that makes you really sick. And so they did that, and then they stripped me naked, or like to boxers or whatever, and then they're like, we're gonna play a game of hide and seek. If we find you, we kill you. And so I ran for my life, but I ended up dying. Yeah.
Suddenly, so many things about you are making so much more sense.
I've taught him well.
This is your brother?
This is the
Yes,
family he grows up with.
I taught him everything I know.
That explains so much. Like, Jesus Christ.
Yep, he's so young, but he just knows how it is.
Well, isn't that like the thing, is to go around and force feed bleach to people?
Yes, actually, and another thing is that they have handcuffs now, so you can do that. So you can just handcuff people and then force feed them bleach and then kill them. Or the other day, my brother force fed me. I think it was just straight up alcohol. Like, I don't know if it was like rubbing alcohol or whatever. And like my guy was like throwing up and stuff, and yeah, and then I died.
Have you considered not playing with your brother?
No, it's fun. I don't know.
Okay. You and I have very different definitions of the term fun.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, Thompson.
Well, I liked the fucked up stuff like that. Like when he fed me human flesh, my guy would be like walking around like it's saying like I was very sick, but my guy would start crying because he's like insane now because of eating human flesh, and he was just like audible crying, and like my brother would tell me to shut up even though he was the one that fed it to me. Yeah, it's a very strange game now. I still enjoy it because of what it is, I guess.
So it's clearly evolved, but has it evolved in a positive way?
I don't know that we can take what Nick and his ilk do as a general representation of the game state as a whole.
Are you sure? From what I'm reading in like the Steam reviews, and I'm not reading them now, but I've read them a long time ago.
Yeah.
That seems to be the case.
Hmm.
Like, seriously, like just totally like being the worst people ever.
Yeah, and my brother has like a huge stash of human flesh because they just kill everyone.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
But I
I
mean,
believe the phrase you're looking for is. So anyway.
Yeah, moving on. That was one game I've been playing on Steam. Uh,
does the next game you've been playing involve human flesh and or the consumption of said human flesh?
I could segue into it.
Fuck.
No. I played briefly a little bit of Alan Wake, which I picked up over the Steam sale as well. I haven't got too far into that. I'm a kind of a coward when it comes to spooky games like that, so
Well, I mean, it's no romp in the park like feeding somebody human flesh.
I take my time. I don't know. I don't like pop scares and stuff like that. It's not my thing. I'll like get one and then I'll be like, yeah, this is enough for tonight. Yeah, there's that. Valkyria Chronicles, which I played through the entire thing on the PS3, and the port is awesome. Like, just as beautiful, or if not more beautiful than its PS3 counterpart.
That's the one in World War II, right?
Yeah, like a made-up war, but yeah.
Kind of a.
It's like an anime-based, or yeah. It is like a more like 1940-ish era, but it's like a totally made-up place and like totally made-up war. But yeah, turn-based, third person, which is really cool. So yeah, you can like aim your guy and shoot. I haven't got too far in that, like a chapter or two. The story isn't like something that takes the main stage, but the gameplay is definitely fun and challenging in the later stages.
Okay, and it's a strategy slash JRPG slash.
How would you classify Advanced?
I would say it's an SRPG, a strategy RPG. So
Yeah,
think
I'd
Final
say
Fantasy
that, yeah.
Tactics, think Fire Emblem.
But like with a third-person twist, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then I recently got back to The Witcher 2 because The Witcher 3 comes out in February, I believe February 24th.
Oh, really?
And
Hmm.
the first time I picked it up, which was that 2011? I don't think my computer could run it very well. And I recently, like after that, I got a new video card. And the gameplay I found was kind of clunky, but actually CD Projekt Red, who made it, one of the developers came out with a patch kind of separate to CD Projekt Red. Like he just did this as like a thing to do for himself, and totally like streamlined the entire combat system. Doesn't feel as clunky anymore. It's more fluid. So it's kind of a new game in itself just for the combat. I didn't get very far just because it was very clunky in the beginning, but I still enjoyed it. So now I'm like probably 15 hours in and really enjoying it now.
Hey
Okay.
Nick, sorry,
Yeah.
just to get the name off of you for anyone who's curious. That's Full Combat Rebalance 2.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so the combat has been rebalanced and the gameplay, has been improved, but can you eat human flesh in it?
I don't know about human flesh. You can probably eat monster flesh because you can do like alchemy and make potions and stuff.
Mm.
But
Okay.
I will give it a try. So next time I'm here, I'll let you know.
Nick is going to be our go-to expert on the field when it comes to human flesh consumption.
Well, at least someone had to do it. He fell on that sword. But what about you, Vance? What have you been up to?
Well, I've played a game with, I think, both of you that neither of you have mentioned.
Distant.
Over the Christmas holidays, we all got together and played a game called Hammerwatch.
Oh, that
Yeah,
wasn't
we
me.
did.
Oh no, you okay? Sorry, Nick. You were one of the few people who didn't out of our group. So
Oh, who was it?
Hammerwatch
Oh, hold on. So it was you, me, Chris, TJ,
and Barclay.
and Barclay. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
No one told me. I even asked you guys what you guys were getting for Steam sales. No one told me.
Yeah.
Oh
We
yeah, that
talked
wasn't
to
the plan thing. That was I think it was we played it
me.
for a multiplayer stream.
Was it a multiplayer stream or was it just something I wanted to do? I can't
Some
remember,
sort
but
of stream.
it was there was a 4-pack on for like $9, so I was like, fuck it. And actually, in my opinion, I think Vance's opinion differs slightly, but I think it's a better Gauntlet than Gauntlet.
Well, I will
Really
say
good.
that Gauntlet's gameplay feels a lot smoother, but I really like Hammerwatch. Hammerwatch, we should stop talking about. We should start talking around the game and start talking about it. So Hammerwatch is a top-down action roguelite. I say roguelite in that the levels do not change, but it's permadeath. So you have a certain amount of lives, and actually, it's not really a roguelite at all. Ignore I
No.
said that. So it's an action RPG-ish type game where you get a certain amount of lives to get through the dungeon. And there's currently 2 different dungeons out there. And there's also integrated Steam support and integrated level creation. So lots of content out there for you to explore. So you play as one of the classes. I think there are around 8 of them.
There's 6 of them.
6?
Yeah.
That sounds right. So you have stuff like the Paladin, who has a shield that can block projectiles. You have the Priest, who doesn't really do much damage, but can heal his allies. You have the Warlock, who is a melee class hero, but has a chain lightning that can devastate entire rooms of creatures. And it's this very fun game where you basically try to get through the dungeon. A lot of it revolves around finding keys, unlocking doors, pushing hidden buttons. Very similar to the kind of gauntlet-y style gameplay that we actually haven't seen too much around as of late.
Yeah. Because it's all about like having a massive swarms of enemies coming through spawners as well, and like just mashing the attack button.
Oh, and like I know I played the Warlock for most of the time we were playing, and you can just get in these rooms and just shoot off a couple chain lightning bolts, and suddenly you have 100 combo. And it's like, oh, this feels good. Or at higher levels, you press a button and you get a death cloud that strikes down with lightning at those around you, and you just walk around and become the embodiment of death.
Yeah, the Warlock was pretty OP.
The
Honestly.
Warlock is very powerful. But all the classes are fun to play. I played a bit of the Paladin as well. I played the Ranger, which was fun. And yeah, so no matter what class you pick, they're all lots of fun. Oh, there's a kitty. Kitty, kitty,
Yeah,
kitty.
there's Kitty. Meow. Meow. Anyway.
So other than Hammerwatch, which you can pick up fairly cheap, great multiplayer game, well done support with controllers, and we didn't really have any problem setting it up for multiplayer other than having to forge your ports. So great game. Other than that, I think the last time I came on, I hadn't yet played Game of Thrones, the Telltale series. So Telltale is doing a Game of Thrones series. I believe it starts at the end of season 2 of the show, and will end at the beginning of season 4 of the show.
Okay.
So, and I think the last episode is planning on coming out just before season 4 starts. So it's a great kind of way of tiding yourself over. If you've played any of the Telltale games before, like Walking Dead or Wolf Among Us, you kind of know the gist of it. It's a point-and-click adventure game where you're basically playing as one of the smaller houses that were actually subservient to House Stark, and you. And basically, in the book there, I think, is 2 sentences written about this house. So it's a house from the book series, but not a lot's been done with it. So it's really interesting. I know they had J.R.R. Martin, George R.R. Martin consulting on the game, and
Cool.
so they do have his kind of approval about what they all pulled out. And it's great. You meet characters from the show, like you meet Marjorie Tyrell. You come into contact with Cersei, who is very intimidating. If you don't watch the show, you don't care about any of this, but I'll just leave it to say, very fun game. I don't know that it's standalone enough that you could play it without having seen the show.
Fair enough.
So I will put that out there. You might not want to go into this one completely blind because it might just be a lot of stuff that you don't care about.
Oh no. I actually bought that for my brother, and he's never seen Game of Thrones. I told him I wasn't going to give it to him until after he watched all of it, but in the end I just gave it to him, and I think he has been playing it. I haven't asked him what he thought about it, though.
Okay.
What is going on?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So those are 2 games that I played and I liked. Now here's a game I played and I didn't like, which is Borderlands the pre-sequel. I believe I will actually just pull this up really quick on my computer. I've played about 100 minutes of it and decided that it would not be the game for me. I played through Borderlands 1 several times, put a lot of time into Borderlands 2, and I really enjoyed those. But Borderlands the pre-sequel, it just wasn't that good of a Borderlands game. Like, the writing felt really off. The combat felt a lot, like, very loose. Like, I was totally missing shots that I'm sure I should have hit. And there are some things that the game does better. I don't know if you've played Borderlands 2 or not, but at the beginning of Borderlands 2, there is a long, like, 15 to 20 minute unskippable sequence, which makes you kind of want to kill yourself. It's very long and tedious, especially if you played it before. Borderlands, the pre-sequel, does, like, get you in, going. Like, there's, like, a 3-minute cutscene, and then it's like, okay, here's your stuff, now fight people. So it does a lot better job there, but unfortunately, I don't think I can recommend it. It just wasn't that solid of a game. Specifically in areas of character. Like, the characters were really forgettable. The questing wasn't interesting. The jokes weren't funny. And of course, this is all completely subjective because I'm the only person that I have to go on. Though the friend I was playing with also didn't care for it. But so yeah, that's one of the other things that I kind of bought, and I kind of got away from the Steam sale without buying anything. I don't think I bought anything other than Borderlands the pre-sequel.
You're not a true PC gamer.
No, I'm a true PC gamer who has way too much shit that I need to play that I already own.
Yeah, that's every PC gamer. You should have just kept piling it on.
Like, I still haven't played Brothers. Oh my goodness, how have I not played Brothers yet?
I don't need to play Brothers. I have to. I know how it ends.
Bleach in human flesh.
Yes.
And that's called coming around full circle.
Yes, I like it.
But
Well,
yes, so that's what I was up to over the holidays.
Okay, going back to the pre-sequel really quick. So
Yeah.
the storyline was complete dud, which is shocking because 2 was so good and so funny.
Yeah.
But was like, what about the mechanics? Like, was the gunplay good? Was going around the world good? Like, or was that bad too?
The big thing about Borderlands the pre-sequel is that you're on the moon this time. You play a group of characters who like starts off the cutscene with Lilith saying, "Hey, you tried to kill Roland. Why?" And so it's kind of the backstory of why you're trying to assassinate Roland. And so starts with you going to the moon. They added this concept, which is because you're on the moon, you need oxygen. So you get an oxygen mask fairly soon, and the weird thing is, so you spend the entire game either in the bubbles of air pockets or outside of the bubbles of air pockets. And when you're outside, you only have a certain amount of time that you can be out there. Now, while that does offer like a bit of a challenge and a bit of a change from Borderlands 2, what it mostly felt like is occasionally you had to be like, oh shit, I have to go run over to this arbitrary point and stand there for 3 seconds before I can continue doing the fun stuff. Like, it was just a really weird mechanic that, I don't know, I don't felt, and again, like, I only played 100 minutes, so I'm not like the expert on this game. Maybe they do something different with it later, maybe not, but it felt like a really weird way of slowing down the gameplay and making everything rushed. The levels were really bland, and like I was saying, the gunplay felt really shaky. Like, it didn't feel. There was a lot of shots that I felt like I should have hit, and that I didn't. Now that could be because I'm awful, but I don't think so. In that the other person I was playing with was also mentioning that something felt a little off.
Well, you know, I've always had that problem, at least with the second one, not so much the first, but like, I don't know, I couldn't find myself with a gun combination, at least the first time that I started playing through, that really felt impactful, like I was doing it. In fact, the second playthrough that I was going through, because I only played it for, I don't even know how long, maybe a few hours in an attempted video stream that we were working on years back. But I was playing as Gunsucker, and I just couldn't hit the broadside of a barn with anything I had. And in the second playthrough, I was going as Necromancer, and it was like, okay, robot, go! And then I just cleaned up all the loot and looked at shiny things. And while that was fun to a point, it wasn't really engaging.
It's true. Borderlands has never really been known for its super tight gunplay. You know, it's not Call of Duty. It's not Battlefield. It's very much a comedy game that is also, you know, the shooter. So
It has guns in it. It's
it
87
does.
bajillion guns.
87 bajillion guns. And I'm
Bajillion.
sure, but I am quite sure that the pre-sequel does use the same engine as Borderlands 2. So if you're looking for anything new like that, it doesn't really got too much going.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Anyway, we're almost done. Is there anything else you guys want to touch on? Nick?
I'm good, I think.
What about you, Vance?
AGDQ is going on right now. Awesome Games Done Quick.
Yes.
It is a live streaming charity event. I believe I can't remember off the top of my head what the specific organization is for, but I know it's in benefit of cancer patients.
Cancer, yeah.
So if you want, go to twitch.tv/gamesdonequick, and they are going to be streaming like pretty much all this week. If you Google Awesome Games Done Quick, you can go to their website where they have information about how to donate and their schedule. And I really highly recommend you check it out. Speedrunning has always been super interesting to me, especially as a person who isn't quite a good enough gamer to do it. Just watching some of the stuff that people pull off is really cool. I watched like an hour and a half of Sonic Adventures 2, which is a terrible game, but just to watch the ways that they break the system. So.
Oh yeah. Some of the stuff that they do is just insane. I was watching it last year, and it was like, oh yeah, they're gonna do the Ocarina of Time, and they're doing all these speed hacks, breaking the mechanics of the game in order to go faster, and it was like, holy fuck, like this is blowing my mind how insanely quick they are. And yeah, they play almost every game that you can imagine. So I don't know if it's passed already, but I know that they're going to play Rogue Legacy, which I think will be really insane. So they play everything. So check out their schedule. There's a lot of cool things. Something for everyone at some point anyway, if not just for the fact that it's super intriguing.
The reason I couldn't remember the name of the charity is because it was the incredibly ambiguously named Prevent Cancer Society.
That sounds legitimate.
Yeah.
What kind of charity are they again?
Sorry, what? Yeah, no, I think they might have something to do with maybe preventing cancer. Oh, sorry, the Prevent Cancer Foundation, not society. It looks like Rogue Legacy is scheduled for the 7th at 5:18 a.m. I'm gonna say Pacific, but
that sounds right.
Oh no, UTC.
Oh,
I've never even heard of UTC as a
UTC
time
is
zone.
GMT, like Greenwich Mean, like.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So there's that. I knew
5 a.m. That.
Tomorrow
That's fine.
they're doing Super Mario, like a bunch of the Super Mario stuff. Over the course of, they're also doing a bunch of Castlevania stuff, which I'm super excited to check out. Yeah.
Like, seriously, any game. There is almost a speedrunner for every game. I wouldn't be surprised if they have a speedrunner for like Hatoful Boyfriend or something like that.
That wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
So yeah, the site is gamesdonequick.com/schedule for their schedule, and gamesdonequick.com is kind of their central hub. You can also watch, they have the stream right embedded in there.
That, and it's like on the front page of Twitch right now. So if you go to twitch.tv, you got it. It's right there.
Yep.
And it's fucking good. Like, really fucking good.
Oh yeah.
So on that note, I don't think I have anything else to cover other than I've been playing. I'll do my mobile stuff really quick. Desert golfing. You golf in a desert forever. It's awesome. You should pick it up. Crossy Road. It's Frogger, except cooler. You should pick it up. And I started playing Shattered Pixel Dungeon, which is just Pixel Dungeon with some mods done to it because it's open source. And it's a roguelike, a proper roguelike. So you know what a roguelike is. You know, it's that, except on mobile, and it's fun. So With that in mind, I might actually. I'm trying to figure out what I want to do for Indie Wednesday, and I have one of two options. I'm going to leave this to, well, group consensus anyway, because it's either going to be Lethal League, which is sort of Pong-like action thing game stuff, or it's going to be Dungeon Mans. And I think either one of those is going to be fun. But Lethal League is definitely something to do with a bunch of people. So, I don't know. If you two are interested in Lethal League, definitely hit me up because it could be a thing. It looks.
Okay.
That's a PC game?
Yeah. Yeah, it'll look into it. It's
Okay.
It's cool.
What are you so wary about, Mr. Console owner?
I can
Yeah.
throw it out the window right now.
Looks
Wait,
like I
no,
just lost
don't make me bet that.
I'm gonna make you bet that, and it's gonna be glorious. All right. On that note, let's cut it. So this has been Face to Face Gaming Podcast, episode 37. Thank you for watching, everybody, and we'll see you in a couple weeks. See ya.
Bye-bye.
Bye.